Welcome back to another warm-up show. Welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us. It's the middle of the weeks already, and I don't know. We sit in our top sometime warm up the morning skate, the skate morning. I don't know. I have too many shows during the day. I'm just mess up every time. But welcome everybody, Mr. Enortap back in the house tonight. Welcome aboard, Enortap.
Thank you, Coach. Great to be here.
We have already some few people in the house. When we talk about Enortap, we always said this to him. You are awesome. Here we go. So you awesome. Welcome, Mr. Canadian Giant. From Royal Victoria Hospital. Welcome back, Richard Marlin.
Hope things are better, Richard.
So again?
I just said, hope things are better for Richard.
Hopefully he's doing well. We wish the best speed recovery he can get. Talking about speed recovery, we're not talking about a Mr. from Barrie, Ontario, the Barrie Colts in the OHL. Welcome back, Mr. Andrew K. Run.
Welcome, Andrew.
He just have a great words. He always talk about a great mindset. Every time that Mr. Andre Kiran doing well, always have a great stuff. Talking about Kiran, it's a run. We're not talking about the run number 2 because he's a run number 20. He's back in the house. Run with Kings 20 in the house. He already asked you about this question. You can take a time to answer that one.
Do you think we'll see players like Ovechkin, McDavid, Crosby, and Kopi having other jobs in the NHL after retirement? Well, that's definitely seems to be the trend with a lot of retired or ex-hockey players. Either they're picked up by stations like TSN or ESPN, Fox. So, yeah, a good number of ex-players do end up going that route, but it also has to fit their character. Like, not all of them are extroverts, like some of the ones we see currently on TV. But yeah, it's definitely a worth pursuing for many of them.
Yeah, definitely. Some of them will be definitely at some level. You have so many jobs now. It's not only, related at only a head coach now. You have so many hat you can wear now in hockey. It's open up for the woman, everything like that. So we'll see what kind, Ross Wilson for NFL quarterback want to become an owners of the NFL team. So who knows? Maybe one of those kind of players make a lot of money they want. But I see Capital more back on his country over there. I don't see Capital stay around Los Angeles King, around that part over there. I don't see OV to do some kind of stuff like that. I think Ovechkin, you have a family now here in South Miami. I don't know. But it would be interesting to see that. I think Crosby is going to be involved with QM as the owner or something like that. I would not be surprised about him over there, but it's something we have to follow up. Mr. the Teacher, the Swimmer, the number 1 fans of the Vegas Golden Knight, Mr. Adam Berger.
Welcome, Adam.
You talk about the legend like you, Mr. Enortap. We have to say the legend from Moncton, New Brunswick. Come on down, Johnny Golden.
Johnny. Welcome, Johnny.
Now we have to remember the 3 girls doing the Price is Right one day. Maybe we can invite them to come to the show one day and come on down with Johnny Golden. It would be interesting to see that. About that, talking about come on down, why not talking about the coming up? Because Bud the Monkey back in the house.
Welcome, Bud.
How about the Panthers?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. They're a deep team. I wouldn't worry too much about the Panthers, but it's just very coincidental that ever since Quenville's left, they've looked a little bit more beatable. You sort of wonder, is that just a small sample space and hence doesn't mean much, or is there, maybe a little bit of missing of Quenville?
Yeah, we see how this Barkov injury is going to hurt them. He's now week to week, so it'll be
Yeah.
interesting about that one over there. Talking about the legend, talking about supporter, talking number one fans of the Hockey National Show. Welcome back, Mr. NHL Hockey News Report from Connecticut. Welcome back, Mr. NHL.
Welcome.
And in our tap, you have already a question for you.
How are we? Well, we're fine. It's how are you, Richard?
I know you. You
We're
just
we're amazing.
Richard, I was trying to get Enortap to do the
We're
right things
awesome.
over there. He told me
We're
before we come
awesome.
on here how we can do an answer.
I dropped the ball.
We are fantastic, my Richard. That's funny. I was just trying to get there with that. Adam said, I think Derek Eglin should play again until they all get player back. Again, another players today. Theodore out of the lineup. Now they got Dadonov on the protocol of COVID. I have the list, guy, in front of me. I don't know if I deleted it. But I don't know what I did with that part over there. I was going to send this to Adam earlier, and I do have the list of the Vegas Golden Knight. And I don't know if I still have it. No. Yes. So think about this, guys. Pacioretty, White Cloud, Patrick, Eichel, Carlson, Martinez, Theodore, Dadonov, Marchessault, Carrier, and Amadio. How can you play hockey with those kind of people like that, right? That's the list they have right now on the Vegas at that moment.
And yet they're hanging in there, coach. You're doing a great
Yeah, no
job.
choice. And Johnny
and,
said those girls are probably in the 17 hours. Possible.
Yeah.
I have to check them about that one there. But it was great to see Bob Barker at the Price Right. It was always see Miss Kathleen on the left side beside the car. She said, come on down. Just kidding. But I would come on down every time for sure. If Brunette is an intern, I forgot he is not NHL. If they are both LT, the same as you said, you build your team around Eichel and Barkov. But okay, if they both LT, yeah, of course, but okay, you build this. He says salut. Sometimes he said Moro. Sometimes he said more. By the end of the day, he's coming always from Finland. Welcome back, Yamo Vertanen.
More.
10 players. And Adam said to you, Mr. Vegas did not play a bad game last night.
No, I agree. I thought that they were in it for the majority of the time. And we also saw today, like, given the number of absent players, that they did pick up on waivers Brooks. So that'll go, a certain distance to fill in some of the gaps there. I don't know whether it'll be a long-term solution for the team once they all return, but in the interim time, he'll help them out.
Yep, I agree with you about that one over there. First of all, they played well. They was 12-2-0. Could be this a nightmare after 2-0. They come back, tie the game 2-2. They're hanging
2-2.
there a long time before they turn around to be 4-2. But I think for the personnel, the player they have and the way they play, they have to give credit for the Vegas Golden Knight. And of course, some adversaries coming in front of them again. But I'm not too much worried about that. You know what I mean? They're still performing at the level they can be. And now they pick up Aaron Brooks. Johnny said that about this. He just passed. And again, like I mentioned, I was expecting a little bit more for Aaron Brooks for the Montreal Canadiens. On the flip side, the circumstance of why he showed up, everything like that was maybe not appropriate for him. And again, it's not going to be easy in Vegas. When I'm talking about in our time, like when he was with Toronto don't have at that moment, a good solid top 6 over there. So what he did, he took advantage of, Jason Pesa, every time that put third line, and then you have open up spot last season with Simons and Ekvall, or depending how they run the bottom six at Toronto. But you can see with Montreal, it was not the one where I expect. Well, I tell you, it was a little bit more. He's not physical, good vision, good hands, some point, but the shot is not strong. He did not do a lot of flash for me with the Montreal Canadiens. And unfortunately, at 8-9 minutes, that's the way they are. But I was not too much impressed overall. For Vegas with him, but again, they're missing a lot of bodies. But I don't see this because they have a good center over there. You have Nick Roy, you have Colsar over there. You can drop over there. Jean-Marc, not Jean-Marc, but Stephenson. It could become now the third center over there because now you're going to get Carlson. You're going to get back Jack Eichel. So, what I mean? So for me, it's just like a couple of weeks over there, and that's it for him. It's not like a big on my point about that one over there. So that's what happened about that. Monkey say yellow. That was funny. I was going to say sign 40 for Carolina, but I went crazy, said 6-3 Carolina. Always easy said that the next day. But I can understand your point about that one over there, Yarmo, about this. Coach Enortap, your full fans and your Avalanche said roof in English with what's up, legend? Awesome. Thank you so much.
Rough.
Yamo said St. Louis failed my bet. And you finished with 6-5. St. Louis screw a lot us. Pittsburgh screw us, honestly. Two teams, I think, with that. You know what I mean? And Washington, my last one where I was, lost a game me at the last and overtime should never happen. I'm not agree with that rules, but that's another story. We can talk about this. Talking about welcome back, I forgot to say this because he's get back. We always said Irene is wife.
You are awesome.
And then we have to tell him, Mr. Alan Vaillancourt from Kentucky. I agree with him. The center position is the most important position except goalie. Everything in hockey is about the lane in the middle. It's always been the most important thing about this. I agree with you, Alan, about that one there. Where Alan, I believe he played bowling tonight or something like that. I think he was going to play bowling, but we'll see about that. Coach, where is the Charlie Brown overlay Snoopy? Yeah, Charlie Brown's coming soon. The time is not coming, but Charlie Brown with McEnroy and also Charlie Coy, they are coming very soon. Adam, don't worry about this. It's very soon. Minnesota will see at home. That's another. I agree with you about this one. I did not do well. I need more depth at the center.
Well, that's been a complaint for many years, right?
But is what happening about this Yamo and not Yamo, but Alan and Enortap is most of the Frenchy, most of the cornerstone player, the franchise player, right? Most of them are center. And that's the problem. You talk about Tres Harold, and McDavid, the Matthews, you know what I mean? Like Jack Eichel. Those guys are really in the middle. It's rare it's under position. So Montreal never had that chance to get a guy like him. But again, they're missing a one piece of the puzzle, but we'll be interesting to see about that. One as play visit another, so Pezzetta can fight Shara. Yes, Yamo, he could do that, but I don't know he will do it. I think he figured out yesterday, I cannot fight with everybody in this league, but I can understand. I got released from the hospital today, so I'm happy. Awesome. Pezzetta got destroyed last night by Reeves. But he's not the first one. He's not going to be the last one, obviously. For me, he still have a courage to try it and to do it. So that's what the most important about that. Anybody else more excited for Thanksgiving as Christmas? But if you love football, you're excited about this. You love turkey. That's the great things about that. But now I heard that the turkey is $45 per turkey. So I don't know what happened. But will be interesting how Thanksgiving is going to be. And for that part of that, Richard may have a speedy recovery. Thank you so much, Adam, to say that. Shara is so bad. Rats should scratch him. Yes, but he showed up. That's exactly. I saw an interview say he was very surprised. Yeah, of course. It's not about winning or losing a fight. Alan is showing up. Here we go. Let's go through all those comments so far. 519 and on top. So, okay, I'm 4 minutes behind. What's going on, coach? Hey, here you go. You are the man of the men. It's time, Mr. Enortap, to tell us for the last 24 hours any news, anything, pay your attention about the NHL.
Yeah, first of all, I just want to go back to that comment about Pizzetta stepping up for to fight Reeves. I think that that's kind of been what's lacking in Montreal is players that stand up for each other on the team. Like you see it from occasion from time to time, but you know what? Let's be honest. Montreal has been pushed around by bigger teams over the last couple of years, and it was evident last year. It was very frustrating. We saw at the end when they had to go up against a much tougher, um, albeit more talented Tampa Bay team, that they were being pushed around, despite the defensemen who had been giants throughout the entire the four defensemen that had been giants throughout the entire playoffs. They just couldn't. They really couldn't hold off a lot of the forwards from Tampa Bay. So good on Pizzetta to step up and do what he did. He's not a heavyweight, so for him to go up against Reeves is to be admired, and you would just hope that the rest of the team feeds off of that energy and uses it in a positive manner. So that's my 2 minute spiel on on that. What stood out to me, Coach? Like I want to go also over yesterday what happened with the Gallagher situation. Like it turned out that they fined him. I believe it was $2,000 for that hit against Goodrow. Um, and fine, it was valid. The fine was valid, despite the fact that personally I would have given Goudreau a 9.5 for acting on that particular one. Um, but it does show the frustration level that the team is experiencing. To me, it does show that there's lack of leadership right now with guys like Weber out of the lineup, with Price out of the lineup. Those were your leaders. Uh, Corey Perry was another leader for the team in a different way. But where to me, where's the fine line? Like when somebody like um, McNabb does the exact same thing to Suzuki last year in the playoffs. I don't know if you recall that. He just gave him one big shot right across the chest. No penalty was. That to me was worse than what happened yesterday with Galley, or even a couple of days ago when Gudbranson, when Gallagher scored, Gudbranson just hit him right with a two-handed cross check, and he ran right across the board all over him and was trying to start a fight. It to me the inconsistency in the refereeing is a little bit embarrassing, and I'll end it at that.
Gallagher make a comments about this incident today. I don't know if you read this on Twitter
Yeah, I did.
about Goodrow, everything like that. He will let this there. He will not to add more information about this. But yeah, something said between him and both of them on the face-off. So I don't know what reason. It was that well deserved the 2 minute and the 10 minute on that one over there. I mean, whatever Goodrow did it with that, it's not a big deal. Gallagher, as a veteran, at the situation, time management, 6 versus 5, 3 to the score. You have to control your emotion. You cannot do those stuff like that. Whatever happening before that, you have to get there. So as a veteran, it was a little bit surprised to see Gallagher act that way. Right around, I think for me, was not the right time to do it. Yeah, other moment you can pay back to someone. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, that's turned around for that one over there. But it's a learning process for everybody. And the Montreal, unfortunately, struggled at that moment. You can see that kind of frustration. After that, it
Yeah,
was Anderson in the corner, and
I,
that's
Coach,
what happened.
I don't say that was inappropriate. I think that the penalty was called for. No doubt about it. It's the inconsistency with which it's called. Like when he got hit, is it just because his name is Gallagher that the referees are not calling penalties against them, and yet he's drawing a lot of penalties. I get that, but how many of those penalties is he involved in as well? Like there just has to be more consistency. Like last year, when Suzuki got hit like that, right in front of the referee, he saw the entire play.
Yeah, during the playoff, he was not called a lot of
Yeah,
stuff like that. That's the one where
and
Chris Lee turned his head on the right for the left. Looked like he didn't see it, but he was just in
but
front of him.
in my eyes, that's what creates these problems is the fact that they're not called consistently. If you know that if I take a two-handed stick to somebody and it's going to cause a fine or suspension every time, then guess what? I'm not going to be doing it. But just the fact that it may or may not be called or it's a discretionary call, you're going to see all sorts of different cheap shots being taken left and right.
Yep, I agree with you about that one. Caleb South in the house. We have Mr. Bowl Grand Cross said hello. Hello, Mr. Bowl.
Bolt.
I think Mr. Bowl is doing well because the Tampa Bay is doing well. And Ron, we came 20 talk about the Lion. I think, it's if you're a Lion fans as a Thanksgiving, you better to watching, I don't know, another channel. I think it'll be good. Alan Vayako, he said, I have to go play bowling. I need to, brush my shoes, my bowling shoes, and then I have to prepare my ball. I have to flip on my ball, and I have to set up, prepare my arm, and everything like that. And he's going to do that. One more time.
Bring your hand sanitizer.
Here we go. So here's the king of the bowling is Alan Vaillancourt. The Abs need to get some Giants. Everything like that. Enortap, Ron Vaillancourt. There you go. Would you please have Shea Weber or PK Subban on your team?
Oh, for me, it's a no-brainer. Shea Weber all the way. Like when that trade occurred a number of years ago, the city of Montreal, a lot of them were in upheaval saying, oh my God, how could Bergevin do that? And when I saw that trade, I thought to myself, wait, they gave us Shea Weber? Like, you have any idea what they've given us here? And that was when PK was at his height too. So Shea Weber is definitely, a once in a lifetime kind of defenseman. His leadership, his tenacity out there is just amazing.
You cannot put on the same sentence, I believe, Shea Weber and Piquet Subban. You talk about a great, and you talk about elite, and I think Subban was above average, but I think Weber is become an Hall of Famer, everything like that in the NHL. So for me, I can understand his question about to compare both, right? But for me, it's not the same caliber overall during their career in NHL. Yamu said, I dropped Jake Allen free to pick up. So if you're looking for a goaltender and on top, you can get it. And he said, I look like everybody watched my action, but I slipped everybody today. And I had Pirunovic for the St. Louis Blues on my team today. I let it go because my team have a lot of injuries and I need someone. So I got Pirunovic, play 18 minutes yesterday, first game in NHL. So Ken, he helped me. We'll see what happening. I'm still losing this week again. Johnny Golden said Mr. George Boxer Larac said the biggest problem with the Canadian is the charm.
Yeah, well, if we're going to point fingers, to me, there is a systems problem with the Habs right now. They're not responding to whatever the system Deschamps has in place. Ultimately, the players are responsible for themselves, and they need to produce, and they haven't been. But is it more of a problem that the coach has to recognize the talent he has and adapt the system to their assets, or is it totally up to the players? I think it's a combination. I think that the coach has to be able to adapt to different situations even when injuries kick in, and who to play at what position and with which players. And I don't see right now, I don't see Ducharme really adapting too well. I'll be honest with you.
For me, I wouldn't have said the biggest problem. I would say it's one of the problem. I think
Yeah,
an
yeah,
other
yeah.
problem come with Dominic Charm. What he's the biggest, I'm not sure. But again, I believe he start from the top, and then you go all the way after that for the bottom. And until you don't fix the top, you will not going to fix the middle of the ladder. So you have to fix first up, whatever he want to keep Bergevin, give him a 3-4 years. Or, I'll be honest with you, Enortap. If he does do that, he get out. He said this is the last season of Marc Bergevin. He will finish his contract. It will be done in June. And during the time, starting tomorrow, we're going to looking for a new GM. That will stabilize all the insecurity of what's going on, everything like that. And I think that would be the best way. All the decision is going to be supervised with Marc Bergevin with help of Scott Millenby and the next one together. So that will give what the vision of what they're looking for. Right now, we just in the swimming of the ocean. We're looking for the island. We don't know the island is behind us, on the right, on the left, on the front of us. And that's what the feeling I have with the Montreal Canadiens right now around them. And that's what the biggest problem for me at that moment is that situation with Montreal. Until you don't fix this, you're not going to have a great year. Overall about that. You can be also, a contract with a one-year player, a good, solid player you have in your team, and then he's not sure he's going to resign, or he maybe leave, or maybe not stay, or maybe we don't know yet. Oh, now he does not produce, but because you don't have no contract, the relationship, the communication, that's make everything around there, right? The Philippe Dano situation, I think that's another bother, whatever he play well in the playoff. So something you have to be careful about that one over there, about this. Do you think Piquet Subban brothers should have make it to the initial as a goaltender? Malcolm Subban, unfortunately, was maybe a backup number 2. That's pretty much fit for me.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%.
And, it was a 29 overall pick, if I can recall it. So that's what happened. It was from Chicago or Vegas, something like that. No, Boston. No?
Boston. Yeah, I think it was Boston.
Yeah, Boston Bruins, yeah. And Vancouver draft his other brother as the forward defenseman. He never make it, unfortunately. Welcome, Mitchell Matt in the house. And Michael Rosenblatt back in the house. Golden thing that is top, boys. It's like Ottawa. What you said?
I said, is Michael Rosenblatt going to overtake me tonight? I don't know.
I don't know, right? We'll see what happening about that one over there. Talking about 5:32, let's jump in a little bit more about the fun news around the league. First of all, we do at the beginning of the show all the time, at the middle of the show, but when we come here, flashback. And I want you to give me some name here, Mr. Enortap.
Oh, I see Bobby Orr. That's the most obvious.
Yep.
And who is that to his left? Is that Marcotte?
Marcotte? No. Marcotte
No.
is beside him, number 18, I believe. Or maybe not
okay.
Marcotte, but I think.
Who else?
Who's the coach?
Is that Wing? Is that Cashman?
Number 12 could be Wayne Crashman.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. The coach looks very familiar.
I will give
Next
it
to
to
Bobby.
you.
Wait. Next to Bobby Orr, that's got to. I see number 7. Obviously, that's Phil Esposito. So that's a young Phil Esposito and Bobby Orr for sure.
Yep.
And the coach is good old Harry Sinden.
Here we go. It's funny.
Yeah.
People talk about this in the chat. That's why I should do this more often. The guy, first of all, Islander, big friend in the house. Welcome back, Islanders. Main girl from Ontario back in the house tonight. And she did pretty good. She said Cashman, Esposito, young Philly, Mitchell Matz. Yeah. Fans dress up nice, Steve. That's a good one, Steve. Welcome back,
Coach.
Steve said the fans all dress up nice on the ground. Alan Vayanko said send in. Main goal said Carol Vatner.
Who's to the right of Phil Esposito?
I don't know. He missed a number letter right there. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, it looks familiar too.
Yeah, Sendon Brad Pitt is on the ice. Oh,
22.
22. That's possible. And Franco said, welcome, boss. First of all, Franco. Matt Matthews. No, it was fun to see that. Honestly, look the glove. I cannot believe it. It's like, that's funny to see that. That is a great. Fred Stanfield.
Stanfield, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Main girl
That's
hockey.
good.
She knows the
Main
hockey.
girl.
Wow. Awesome.
Way to go,
Great.
mean girl.
Congratulations about that one over there. Before we move the next one, we want to thank Mr. Andy Koivula. 8-3 yesterday. Enortap, Cole, Yamo, Willie O, Steve G, 6-5, Ron Kings, 20, and Richard Mullen finished the night with 5 and 6. If you are not on that list, it's because you didn't make the list. That's happening about that one there.
And of course, Coach, of course, behind you is Sherrod.
Exactly. He said Matt Mitchell said Stainer. And then Maine said, this is not Brad Park. Brad is way more awesome. So I don't know about this. Who do you think play longer, Ovi or Crosby? Kane Hodge is not on the picture. Kane Hodge was wearing number 8, I believe. And then Johnny Busset was number 9. Not back. He did not go to Boston until 1975. That's what I talk about this. He was with New York Rangers at that moment. Does he get trade? That he get trade Chariot? He will get trade, but not right now. Matt, about that one over there. But a great question about this. Chariot was a story good for the I don't know to get some move him. He would trade at the dread line. And Ovechkin would play longer. So back at the question, you can answer that one and during the time I fix this.
Yeah, it's possible because right now Ovi is on a mission to attempt to break Gretzky's record. And unfortunately, we're seeing every year Crosby's missing more and more games due to injury.
I agree with you. Absolutely.
You kind of question the
Great
longevity.
question, by the way. Great question. Yeah. I have another question. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with me, but today I said something. Who is the kid beside Alex Ovechkin?
I don't know.
Or in the chat, if someone knows that, in the chat today.
I have no idea.
Do you think Avi is trying to beat Ovi Gretzky? Here we go. He's right. Trevor Zegras.
Zegras, okay.
Yep. Casey, welcome aboard. Don't forget, guys, to click on the like. That'll be awesome. Thank you, Matt. By the way, in our tap, Matt came earlier, like a couple of months ago, talking about hockey and back tonight, night tonight, 2-3 night. It was great talking about it. Matt's going to be join us at some point next week in the morning, talking about hockey, everything like that. So he knows a lot about analyze about hockey, so it'll be great to see this. And main girl hockey said Owen Power. Main girl no, because if it was Owen Power, he was bigger, he was taller at Ovechkin. And Keith is not McKinnon. No, it's not McKinnon, but a great talk about this. Quick remark before we move this. It's time for the news hockey with around the league, everything like that. Bad news, because we just talked about Islanders, big fan or something like that. I see Islander, big fan anyway, short story. He showed his talent at the World Junior about that, but what about this one?
That's going to hurt.
I think so too. I think right
Yeah,
now,
that's
you know what I
it.
mean? Like that, it's always fragile. I think the Islanders looking for another top four. I don't think so. They have another, you know what I mean? Like I think they miss a top four. I think Mayfield is not a top four over there, so I think that hurt to get there. They miss, I believe, Nick Lady. Whatever. It's not great to say that, but I think they never find a place like him. So Pulak out. That will be interesting to see the Islanders for the next couple of weeks about that one over there. So he showed his talent, the World Junior. Yes, he was last season for sure about that one over there. So any comment about that one?
No, I agree 100%. It's you can't have somebody like that out of the lineup that long, and given the fact that in the last 4 or 5 games the Islanders really have been dropping, and that wasn't their intent. They wanted to go at least 500 heading back to their first home game, and it doesn't look like they're going to achieve that right at this moment. And with Ryan Pulak out, it's going to create a big cavity in their defense.
What about the captain, Alexander Barkov?
Well, let's hope and pray that he's not hurt for an extended period of time. It looked pretty bad last night when I saw the highlight of it. It looked like a dirty hit to me too, but there's no. I haven't heard anything in terms of discipline on that. It's like how can you not miss somebody like Barkov in your lineup? Of course, it's gonna create a big hole for them as well. Let's just hope it's not for a long period of
I'm
time.
surprised he got 2 minute games misconduct. So I don't know if something will happen to him. But anyway, cool guys, he gave us some great insider here. McKenzie 11, Busick 9, Sanderson 8, 16, 8, Arj 7 is Pusto, Gary Tolk, and then
Donnie Orr.
we have Ari,
Yeah,
Ari over there, Dallas
yeah.
Smith, Stanfield, Freddie, and Don Marcotte, and Jerry Cheevers, and Ed Johnson. Not a bad team, to be honest with you. I think they said not too bad injury for Barkov today. Yeah, they was reevaluate there, but I think we'll see what happens. It's a week to week at that moment, so it'll be interesting to see that. The next one I want to talk about this, Mr. Enortap, is we talked about this already, so we're going to move on quickly about this one, get a good stuff. All the news around the league, and Price at the rink today, new face to see him. The player was happy to see Patrick carry Price and Montreal today. So after the long, couple of games losing on the road, so you see carry around. Jordan Edmondson is going to restart to skating only Saturday. So it's another couple of weeks, maybe 1 or 2 weeks
Couple
before
weeks.
Edmondson is just pushing back every week. Now Lander is going to be at the lineup tomorrow night. Finally, like Johnny, I said to this morning, that he should let him play, and he's going to play with David Savard tomorrow night. And Chris Whiteman is out of the lineup. Kulak with Romanov and Chariot with Petrie. Perro, another surgery on the eye, so it's something happening to him, so he'll be pushing back again another 10 days to 12, 14 days. Hoffman is on the injury list reserve now. It's going to be maybe a couple of weeks before he come back. And Gallagher fined for the punch, 2,500. And Brooks claimed part of the Vegas Golden Knight. And Backlam for the Calgary Flame, he was fined too for hitting someone for Philadelphia, 5,000. Barkov is week to week. Theodore for the Vegas is out. Pulak 4 to 6 week. Patrick Brown hurt his hand, I believe, is out for a couple of weeks. And then Anton Strandman for the Phoenix, Arizona, out also. Larkin, Heller, Bailey are out on the COVID-19. And then Boldy, great news in Alderson and Sizikas play yesterday. But Alderson play tonight, and Matt Boldy for the Minnesota is going to return on the ice with the Iowa Wild in NHL. Any comments about that?
Yeah, Coach, do you know what exactly is wrong with Hoffman? Have you heard anything further
So again,
with Hoffman? Have you heard anything further to his injury?
no, it is only UBI.
Okay.
So for me, I
Yeah,
would
it's
believe it's
curious
the head,
because
but
there
nothing
didn't
about a
there didn't
concussion,
seem to
nothing said
be
that.
no, there didn't seem to be anything obvious during the game. It must have happened in it had repercussions after.
The only
I
thing
guess.
happened when he got hit by Maurice Zeller. So that's pretty much it. By the way, I have a
Okay.
chance, guys, talking about Maurice Zeller to see the hit he applied to Michael Ralph for Dallas. It was a major league hit, by the way. Was unbelievable. Yamo said he could walk. So we see he reevaluate is with a doctor. I would say happen this. I don't think Ovi has the strength to beat Gretzky. What do you and Enortap think? And me, I will answer very quickly, and I'll tell you can answer after that. It all depends on the next 2 years. He needs to score between 80 to 100 goals for the next 2 years, and then he will go get it. If you don't reach that level, 80 goals and less for the next 2 years, he's going to be a difficult time to reach it.
Yeah, I think if he remains healthy, and the team is still a half decent team that they're not going to totally rebuild for whatever reason, then he has a fair shot at breaking that record. If any of those things fall off the rails, then he's going to have a hard time. I think he'll definitely get to second place, but I don't know if he'll reach first.
Yep. A couple of people comment about this. Sergey get more hit on. Sergey got more for the hit on Marner. That's what he talked about. Yeah, possible. I agree with him about that one over there. Brooks to the USA. Adam Brooks. He talked about the Vegas. The cap should have been relaxed when COVID starts. Seems like safety is a priority. I think you see what they missed for me. I think they should add a taxi squad. Maybe not like last season, but an emergency goaltender they have. But I think they should have 1 or 2 more players on my book. But did not do it. But I agree with you. Habs, Ottawa, so many hurt by the cap and COVID. Casey, it's more Ottawa, San Jose for the COVID situation about that. Caleb is a grown man hit. Yes, I agree with you about this one. Caleb South, where I believe he's a Red Wings, Detroit Red Wings. What happening to Biram?
He's also out, I believe. I don't know how much long. Bo Biram, I think he's in COVID, or no, in concussion protocol, I believe.
Yep, so it's a concussion.
Yeah.
You have a story today, right by Pierre LeBrun, where he was not sure if he have to leave quit the hockey last season. He said to his mom, it's a great, nice article where he said to the mom, what month I'm going to do now if I cannot play hockey anymore. So he was really worried about a concussion, and now he get another one recently. So another black hole for him, and as a mindset on that. So really sad situation. Only 20, 21 years old, and already 2 already. So it's something you have to get a little bit careful about that.
Yeah, definitely. It's you have a greater propensity to suffer concussions once you've had the first one, and there could be very lingering effects down the road. So he's going to have to really be careful going down.
I agree with Matt about this. The Sluban name now and change it for Sluban. I agree.
Yeah, that's something that the league is going to have to start looking. It seems like he's building quite the reputation for that. I know the last one didn't seem very obvious, but it's just the style that he plays, and there has to be adjustment to his game because, like Blay now is out for the rest of the season, based on that.
Yep. 10 seconds. Nepogov or Niemi?
That's a good question. I probably Niemi, I think.
I go with Nabokov for me. Niemi have a good year, the one with the Chicago Blackhawks. After that, never been that level. Nabokov did a little bit longer with the San Jose return of that, so I think that's what happened. Torn ACL, Matt said about this. Same thing as a Marchand. He had the Ben Rose. He would break by accident. All right, it's time. It's time to get all the score, guys. You can give us the score. I will go take a note during the time. Mr. Enortap is going to talk about this. So 3 night, 3 game Tonight, coach is a drop of 600 at 599, and then we have, of course, in our top at 583, very close. Colorado, Vancouver, Colorado's win the last two games by 13 score at 13 goals for 6-5-1. Vancouver 5-9-2. Quenberg confirmed Danko was likely. And you know what situation with Vancouver, everything like that. And Colorado win the last two games. So two opposite team at that moment. 2-7-1 for the last 10 game for the Vancouver. What do you think and what your prediction of the night?
Well, we just talked about Bo Byram, of course, being on concussion protocol. McKinnon is still going to sit down with a lower body injury. So again, we're missing players there for Colorado. Um, I think that Vancouver is in a very precarious situation right now. We'll see what they come up with tonight. If I gotta believe that if they lose this game, which I predict they will, there has to be something happening. I know that there was a meeting yesterday with the owners and um, and the general manager, and it seemed like he got a vote of confidence. But Vancouver was put in a situation to succeed this year, as well as last year. But we know what happened last year. They were given a mulligan based on COVID and everything. So we'll leave that alone. But this year, I think that they should have come out of the gates a lot quicker. Now there's all sorts of reports that that there's problems even with chemistry in the change room. That Peterson is not very much liked by some of the other players on the team. Um, there's a lot of a big mess there. I think that this will be a tough game for Vancouver. Colorado's been playing very well lately, and I think that they'll win this game 5-2.
5-2 Colorado.
Yeah.
Avalanche also. And I go 3-2. Thank you so much, Brother Monkey. Second game, Chicago 4-9-2. Sent with Derek King. Did not lose any game. It visited Seattle Kraken where they gave a lot of goals against, where I'm surprised about this. Not great performance overall. Fleury likely, Gruber confirmed as a goaltender. Thank you so much. 591 for your score. Yamo, I got it. And I got also a Steve Yamo and 591. So thanks everybody about that.
Yeah, Coach, Chicago's looked much better lately with the coaching changes that they've made. They've been playing very, very close games. They haven't been blown out of any games by any stretch. It looks like Fleury's starting to get his game back a little bit, which is good to see. I think that this will be a very close game just by the nature of the two teams. Like Seattle doesn't give you very much. Chicago loves to play that skating transition type of game. And I think Seattle will close that down effectively. That's the way the team is built. They are at home as well. But, they've come back down to earth a little bit, Seattle has, after a great start at the beginning. I think that they're two very evenly matched teams. And I'm going to predict this one's going to go to overtime, but Chicago's going to pull it out 3-2.
Chicago tonight, 5-3, my final score. And yes, he's right, Matt. I don't know if you know about that, but they named also two new assistant coach for Chicago. Mike Crawford, assistant coach also, and that's great about that one there. Hi, coach. What game are you doing tonight? You don't have enough game, Kelly. The game start only at 10 o'clock tonight, so I don't think so. I'm doing any game specific. I'm not sure I'm going to be live. I have to teach tonight, so I don't think I'll be live about that one over there, Kelly, for that one over there. Last game, Washington 9-2-4, 8-5-2 for Kings. Samson up, it's quick or not confirmed.
Yeah, I heard Peterson instead of Quick, but well, I guess we'll see. Washington's coming off of a very tough game yesterday against the new surprise of the NHL, Anaheim. What a game that was, with Anaheim finally pulling it off in the end, 3-2. They're on a back-to-back, Washington, but I think there's that urgency that they need to keep pace in that division with everybody else. I think that they'll, even though LA will play with them, I think the Washington will win this in the third period. They'll pull away, winning 4-3.
4-3. I'm sorry, I have to put
I'm
the
looking forward for Ovechkin to.
Kelly Anderson goes, and to Washington won 3-2 tonight, Kelly. All right. Zegras said last night, yep,
Yeah,
that was
it's
a
possible.
top shot over there. So you told me, if I can follow up, is the King, you said 4-3, right?
The Caps, yeah, 4-3, possibly in
Awesome.
overtime.
Good job, buddy. I appreciate that. But
Well, we always have to disagree on one, otherwise life would not be fun.
exactly that's the reason I did that. But
Well, the two games we disagreed on yesterday both went to overtime.
yeah,
And we split.
now we split. And then the Kings, honestly, because of back-to-back with the Caps, so that's pretty much about that one over there. You silly, so awful. And Matt said that about this. The grass is a nice surprise over there. I agree with you about that one over there. And the time we move on, we destroy everything here. Let's move on to the next segment of the show. We have about 5 minutes to go. And if you don't give me all your score, please don't hesitate to give it to me so I can add more information. I want to give a little bit of statistic. This was from yesterday, 7 game. James Raymer, 9-4-0, guys, with Sergei Bobrovsky. Jack Campbell, 9-3-9. Frederick Anderson, 9-3-8. And then finally, Jacob Maxstrom, 9-3-5. So we try to give you some information about that one over there. So I want to be sure you understand. Here we go for the prediction of the night for you.
Okay, let's start in net from Colorado. I'm going to take Kumper to have a great night. Darcy Kumper. Defenseman, I'm going to go with Makar from Colorado and also Jones from Chicago.
Okay.
And then my 3 forwards, I'm going to go with the 2 hot players right now, Ovechkin and Kuznetsov. And I'm going to go on a limb tonight. I think Rantanen will step up for Colorado and have a great night.
So you can see I was not sure about the Kings. I took something up. But I go with Girard for Colorado and Carlson for the Washington, Capital for the Los Angeles, Patrick Kane, and then Jordan Eberle. A little bit a long shot about that one over there, for that one over there. And Matt said Darcy, Kiki, if difficult like that, and Samuel Girard about that one over there. And then we're going to finish with the last one here before we go. The spread and also the money line and also the total over or under. If I said to you Avalanche Canucks, over or under?
I will go with over.
Over for that one over there, minus 160 for the money line and plus 135 minus spread. If I go with Chicago Kraken, is it a game's going to be plus 1.5 or minus 1.5? Under that one. And then Capitals Kings, over or under?
I feel like I'm on the Price is Right playing the over-under game here.
Yeah, exactly.
Washington and LA, I'm going to say over on that one.
All right. I'll be honest with you guys. The money line for the Washington Kings, I will not touch it. Not many there. Kraken, it will be something you have to, 150, guys, is not too bad at all. And or plus 125. And then the Avalanche Canucks, guys, I I will not be sure about that one over there, but I think the game between Chicago Kraken, I will go with Kraken a minus 1.5 if I was to take a spread tonight. And then maybe, yeah, that's pretty much what I would said about that one over there for tonight, about this. Golden Cities are all over. Awesome. Welcome back, Golden. And then Keith said over and under after that. And awesome, everybody. Don't forget, guys, to click on the likes. And that's conclude another great show of the warm-up show, guys. If you are new or not come or familiar what we're doing here, every night at 5 o'clock Eastern Time, Monday to Friday, we have Enortap bring his analysis, but also talking about prediction, injury, fantasy. So that we prepare the preview of the game each night, what's going on, and that's a pretty good show. And we take all your prediction, and at the bottom of the screen, not that one, the one before that, your name appear, and we give you all the results the next day. And we do this Monday to Friday, so we always appreciate the collaboration of the Enortap. We are really thankful and grateful about this. So every morning, 11 o'clock, now we are running the show by myself as a solo at that moment until Michael Devenanu fixes his situation. So I'm going to do this every morning, 11 o'clock, Monday to Friday. And then the evening, usually I show up. Maybe tonight I will surprise everybody. I don't know yet. I have to go teach right now in 3 minutes, so I have to be ready on that one over there. Sweatfire said, Montalbo said, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Fine night. One great show, guys. Canadian Giant, always a pleasure to see it. Matt said, call Frenchy and Enortap. Thanks. When you go soon, I'll keep fighting on. I'll be all soon. Matt is a great guy. Enortap. I can't wait to have him some point with us. That would be great to join us at some point. Like you guys, a cool group. Casey, welcome to see us for this season. And Mr. Richard, as the Hockey Nation Live Show member, and all the people around, we just wish you a speed recovery, and I can wait you guys, you feel better, Richard, about that one. And finally, Golden Cities, Colorado money line include OT would be a good bet. I agree with you about that one over there. And you have the last word of the words of the show, Mr. Enortap.
You are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And
Yes,
remember, you have greatness inside of you.
Now you have the last word of the show.
No last word.
No last word anymore.
Thank you, Coach.
Have an amazing, great night, everybody. Thanks for joining us to the warm-up show. We look forward tomorrow night to see you again in our tap at 5 o'clock p.m. And whatever you do, be well and be healthy. Have a great night in our tap, and everybody for Hockey Nation Live Show.
What's going on now? Is this another breakdown? You and me, should I let go?
Thank you, Matt.
I do really want to
951.
know what's
I love it.
going on